Well guys, welcome back to the channel today. We got a really nice video for you today. So we made some serious upgrades the last few months. Behind me here is the new garage setup that we've been working on with a bunch of help from a bunch of people here. And I'm really excited to show you what we got going on here, because this is just like the catalyst for a bunch of future projects that we're gonna do. This is gonna be kind of like a time-lapsey kind of video of the before and afters. So let's just kind of jump right into it. Well, I'm back again for another video. You guys probably remember from my last one there, I don't really have a workshop anymore. So I'm gonna have to take a few steps to get all that back. Because as much as I like to do my projects in my room, it's not really great. I have sawdust in my room right now because I was drilling and making holes in this freaking thing right here. See, I can't really have dust on my floor every time I want to do a project. I mean, it's fine and all. Who's a whiner? I guess a better example is epoxy. I really shouldn't be doing epoxy in my room. I should have a dedicated space for that. So yeah, that's kind of my goal here. I have my stuff, but it's not organized at all. It's just like a chaotic mess right now that I can't have. The people in my life know me, and I cannot have this chaos when trying to do anything. I'm gonna lose my mind. I do gotta say right off the bat, I didn't really think about making a video on this right away. So we did actually get started on some of the key things, like cleaning a little bit. But honestly, I'm looking at it now and it looks like we didn't even do anything yet. So let me tell you about what my goal is. This whole wall, I want this to be like the workstation, you know? I want a table, I want some cabinets, I want my tools organized. I want a place where I can actually think and tinker. Then we got the other wall over there. This whole wall, I don't really know what it'll be exactly. It might just be a storage location for miscellaneous tools and whatnot, but this wall isn't as important as that wall. And I guess the third part to the goal is just making this place organized so we can actually just use it. Because right now, look at this. It's a freaking joke. And if you could even see the rafters, they're just filled with junk too. So like I said, we already started this project. These cabinets actually came out of the house. They were the old ones. Yesterday, I painted them, put a nice coat on them. So they're looking a lot better for the new setup. The original plan was just to paint these walls and just be done with them like that. But as we got to this point where we cleared out this area here, we started taking off these clips, and then I just looked down the wall a little bit, and you can see right here that it's just kind of falling apart. What is the point of using nice paint on this wall when it's just falling apart anyway? So we are just gonna rip these walls out probably tomorrow morning, and we're just gonna put new walls up, probably just plywood, because who can afford anything nowadays? Then I'm gonna paint it. So yeah, if you guys like time lapses, here we go. Replacing the walls was the first thing we had to do because it was going to make the biggest mess. And I'd like to give the first shot of the video to my dad, who helped probably the most throughout the whole process. Tearing down the walls wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, mainly because the old walls were basically glorified sheets of paper, so they came down pretty easy. After we were done with the walls, we helped our door guy install the new bifold door, because that thing was way heavier than it looked. After the doors were installed, I cleared out all the rafters because the new walls were not going to be delivered until tomorrow. While I was removing the debris, I bumped one of the lights and caused a small fire hazard to occur. I already wanted to replace these lights with new ones, but after this happened, that was just a nail in the coffin for these old lights. Second shout of the video goes to whoever put all this garbage up in the rafters. I pulled 3 broken umbrellas, all kinds of carpet, and a ladder that is older than I am out of there. The second day was putting up the new walls. This leads me to my third shout of the video, going to my loving sweetheart Lillian. She put up a large amount of the screws that held the new walls into place. Day 3 and a little of 4 was mainly used to turn this cheap looking plywood into painted cheap looking plywood. Day 5 was the exciting day that would make this garage look organized again. I was installing the cabinets. The entire garage was unlevel, so to make the countertop level, I was going to need a good amount of shims. Even the walls were quite warped, most likely because the people who built this place used WikiHow to build the garage. After cutting the shims, I added a couple 2x4s to the inside of the cabinets so that I had something to hold the countertop down onto. I added these because the smaller cabinet had a board in the way, so I couldn't screw up inside of it into the wood table. Oh yeah, I also put the new receptacles in this day. On day 6, my top priority was getting this tabletop built. So I'm back at the wood shop with my lovely assistant. We grabbed the widest board that was around for the least amount of work later. I figured this really didn't need to look amazing because this is going to be beat up a lot anyway. So I only planed one side of the boards down perfectly flat. Lillian had to go to work after this, so we finished up here and I headed home. I instead used this time to get a pegboard so that the main wall had as much function as possible. I thought it would look great if the pegboard matched the wall color, so I gave it a good finish to wrap up the day. Day 8, I went back to the wood shop with my boy Kelby. That'll be shout out number 3. He came over just to help move this heavy table over to the garage, but got dragged into more unpaid labor later on. When we got back, we hung up the pegboard and then placed the countertop just to see how it looked with everything else. It still needed sanded in the finish later on. After we put up the rest of the cabinets, we took a step back and realized that the table was not centered with the cabinet. So we took all that down because I would not be able to live with myself if I left it up like that. After that debacle, we installed the new lights. I got some skinny LEDs from Amazon. They went up pretty easy because they had this daisy chain system to connect all of them together. And I'll tell you what, they definitely met my expectations. Day 9 was a lot of organizing. I put my tool cart next to the door so I could have quick access to it when I'm outside. I moved this extra shelf under the right cabinet with no real plans with it yet, and then I somehow lost the plot of today and decided to go outside and sand down this tabletop and put a finish on it. In an effort to prove to myself that I haven't gone soft, I moved this table back in by myself after sanding it. Unlike most influential woodworkers, not saying I'm an influential woodworker, but I just use good old-fashioned polyurethane. That UV cured resin stuff that people use all the time is way too expensive, and polyurethane has not let me down yet. It always turns out great if you just use the proper steps. As that dried, I started putting things into the cabinets only to realize that I don't have as many things as I thought I did. That's not really a bad thing or anything. I've learned over the years that if there's space to be used, it'll get used eventually. At this point in the process, I thought more about how things were going to attach to the walls. I started with this mount I found online to hold up my DeWalt chargers, and luckily I kept all the mounts I printed from my last garage, so I have way less things to print off. Looking back, I was way too stressed about putting things up on this pegboard. I wanted things to be grouped together so that I would have an easier time finding things, but really, it's a pegboard. I could just take one look and find what I need. Also, this spot was perfect for my box fan. Lastly, for the day, I added some screws to mount the outside tools as close to the door as possible, just to reduce dirt from tracking inside. Day 10, I printed a bunch more things. A headset mount, a cup for my pencils and little tools, a mount for my shop blower because it's the most used tool in my shop, an upgraded bit holder for my drill since the old one fell off all the time, some neat coasters I found online and a holder for them that I made, and lastly a wall mount for my brother and I's skis. Day 11 was actually another really big day, and I forgot to film the beginning of it, but today was the installation of the shelves on the second wall. The shelves itself measured about 8 feet by 2 feet. It was about $95 for the 2x4s and plywood, and the shelves will mainly be used for stuff that needs to be stored in containers that we don't want laying around inside the house. But for now, I just put what was laying around the garage on them. I was at this point in the project where I was feeling very happy with how it turned out, but every time I do a project, I feel like I need to do something a little outside my comfort zone. This time I wanted to make a trash chute that was invisible when closed, but would also have smooth walls and a smooth edge when open. It took me a while to really figure out how that would work, but I settled for this design that was sort of a rotating sliding arm thing. After printing them, cutting out a test piece of board, and putting it all together, I tested my design. And it looked like it would have worked, but for it to be up to my standards, the cut tolerance I would have had to make would have had to been near perfect. I sadly don't have that amount of skill yet, so I settled for a simpler triangle block that would just set into place to cover the hole. In this final design, I did make it a little bit smaller than what it was supposed to be, so maybe down the road if I want to tackle this again, I can still do it. For the dust/trash bin, I designed a simple sliding box with a handle attached with a heated insert. It slid in really nice, and there even's a little lip inside so that the dust and debris doesn't catch on the top of the bin. And with the trash chute being installed, that's pretty much it. The new garage workshop is up and running. I've already been using it for some smaller projects, and I can't thank the people who helped enough for all the work that was put into this. I've never been happier in my life, and now I have a space for all the upcoming projects I planned. So thanks for everyone who stuck around this long, and thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll see you next time.